Moments when I've wondered that myself, since Billy invited me. Thank you, Billy. I am married already to a man, which means that we have all of the rights, civil and legal, that same-sex couples don't have. So I'm done. We have 2 children, they're in college, and they seem to be attracted to people of the opposite sex. So they're going to have all the rights that same-sex couples can't get. So my kids are going to be happy. Why am I here? I am here because I think it's an issue of basic fairness, of justice, and of compassion. For me, that makes it a moral issue. And that's pretty simply why I'm here. Now, I think Billy invited me because opponents of marriage equality often use biologic, psychologic, and medical arguments against the right of same-sex couples to marry. We just heard some of those arguments. Now, Stacy says that it's a pretty simple biologic fact. It's not that simple. I just brought with me a little bit of the reading from the medical literature that I've done in the last few weeks, just a little. And I tried to confine myself to the medical literature, not to literature on activist websites of either side of the case. I went to the medical literature, and fortunately I have the training to read it. It isn't simple at all. I will tell you what we know and what is agreed upon by the medical and biological scientific community. And that is that sexual orientation is largely or exclusively biologically determined. And it's determined in the first trimester of pregnancy by factors that are not under the control of the fetus and are largely not under the control of its mother either. There is a lot of research to show this in many animal species as well as in humans. So we know that. We know that it's not a common trait, but that doesn't make it an abnormal trait, a disease, or a mental disorder. Left-handedness is not common either. And you may or may not know that the Latin term for left is sinister, okay? And for a long time, left-handed people were considered to be evil or possessed by the devil, and children were made to learn to write with their right hand when they were left-handed. We don't do that anymore. We pretty much consider that left-handedness is a neutral trait, and there are such things as neutral traits. So there are other minority biological traits as well. That doesn't make them mutations, diseases, or disorders. All the medical, psychiatric, and scientific community agrees that sexual orientation is largely not chosen, not learned, and this is really important to our opponents of marriage equality, it's not contagious either. Now, if you want to know who stands behind what I just said, is it my personal opinion? No, it's not. And I'm not an activist either. I have never done anything like this. Ask my family, they're here. The American Psychiatric Association, the American Psychological Association, the American Association of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, the National Association of Social Workers, the Child Welfare League, my own organization, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the National Council on Adoptable Children, and that left-wing organization, the American Medical Association. And believe me, if you know anything about the AMA, they're not left-wing. 400,000 doctors and health providers in the United States stand by these medical claims about the biology of sexual orientation. On a more personal note, I have taken care of children from birth until adulthood for 31 years, and I have seen the struggles of the children that realize that they are different, and the fear that they live in, that their parents will reject them, their peers will victimize them, their churches will exclude them, and their government will discriminate against them. All of my gay teenage patients have heterosexual parents, And if they have good marriages, those kids want those marriages too. You can change one law and give them Social Security benefits, but you're still telling them that they're wrong, they're different, they're not equal, they're broken, and I will not rest until they know that they are not.